A look back at 2013 shows a bad year for the U.S. Congress. Our representatives accomplished very little, not counting political showdowns and a government shutdown. It's reported the approval ratings for Congress members averaged just 14%. Yet our lawmakers seem very optimistic, as reporter Kyle Benedict found when he spoke with Congresswoman Ann Kirkpatrick.
Well, thank you again for joining me, Ms. Kirkpatrick, and Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. You too. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Great. Well, once again, thanks for being with us. And with the new year upon us right now, what are some of your priorities and your top priorities for 2014?
Well, it's doing what's best for the district, and it's still about jobs and getting people back to work. That's really my focus. Last year, we passed out of transportation and infrastructure a major waterworks restoration bill that will create hundreds of thousands of jobs across the nation, good-paying jobs. For Arizona, it's 15,200 jobs. So we're going to start seeing those jobs come on board and just looking at ways to improve our infrastructure. You know, here in northern Arizona, we have a lot of needs, roads that are still unpaved, lots of areas that don't have broadband coverage. Cell phone coverage, you've probably noticed that. You know where those spots are.
Yeah.
And so those are the kind of things that we're working on so that the local regions, the communities, the small towns can have a really robust economy.
In addition to those kind of issues that you talked about, I assume one of the other major issues is re-election, and I'm sure that's on your mind. And recently you have kind of been the target of some bashing regarding the Affordable Health Care Act. And can you just talk a little bit about your plan to kind of overcome those negative kind of issues?
Well, we're hearing good stories every day now about folks who are being able to get insurance. I'll just give you an example. I just talked to a woman who's a breast cancer survivor, and under the new health care law, they can't be excluded for pre-existing conditions. Those conditions have to be covered. She wanted really good insurance, and because under the Affordable Care Act, she can now get that coverage. And she was just delighted, and heard from somebody else the other day who had a pre-existing condition. He was able to get coverage, and he's saving himself $6,000 a year. So we hear those stories every single day all over the district.
And looking forward, throughout your district, much of your district is rural Arizona. And can you just touch on some of the your plan on how to address some of those issues coming out of rural Arizona?
I have a caseworker, and I've had somebody in my Flagstaff office since the beginning of the year who's dedicated just to answering folks' health care questions. So again, they can go to my website, kirkpatrick.house.gov, look up the number for the Flagstaff office, and call. It's Judy. They can ask for Judy, and she can answer their questions.
Great. Well, thanks again for joining us, and good luck here in 2014.
Thank you so much, Kyle.
And for NAZ Today, I'm Kyle Benedict.
Patrick is wasting no time getting started on doing good works. She tours the southern part of the district, District 1, beginning Friday. She will volunteer at the community food bank in Marana, waiting tables. Saturday, the Congresswoman will tour small businesses in downtown Casa Grande. The tour is part of a continued focus on jobs and local economies.